hope you're having a good day. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how Canadian Parliament works and how bills become laws. We're going to talk about other levels of government too. I will be explaining some details from page 29 in your Discover Canada guide. So let's jump right in and talk about Parliament, where Canadian laws are made. When we talk about Parliament, there are three parts. At the top, we have the Sovereign, who is represented in Canada by the Governor-General. Then there are two other parts that work together. The House of Commons, made up of members who are elected by us, the voters, and then the Senate, made up of members who are appointed after being recommended by the Prime Minister. The House of Commons is where we find the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Ministers. There are also other government members of the political party in power and the opposition parties. The provincial parliaments are almost the same. Each province has a lieutenant governor who represents the sovereign and an elected assembly, similar to the House of Commons, with elected members. The leader of the political party in power in the provinces is called the Premier. In the three territories, there is a role called the Commissioner that represents the federal government. There is also a different branch of the government called the Judiciary. This is the part of the government that deals with the justice system and the courts. At the bottom of page 29 in your guide, you see that the Governor-General appoints 9 judges for the highest court in Canada, called the Supreme Court of Canada. There is also the Federal Court of Canada and provincial courts as well. Now that we know how the parliamentary system is set up, let's take a look at how it works in order to pass bills into laws. At the top of page 29 in your Discover Canada guide, you see a chart that shows us the process, and there are 7 steps. The first step is called the first reading. So this is where the members of Parliament who have an idea for a law have it printed and read. Step 2 is called the second reading, where the members debate the bill in the House of Commons. There can be a lot of arguing and disagreement at this step, and that's a good thing. In step 3, a committee is assigned to study the bill carefully for the legal details to ensure everything is correct and follows the laws. Step 4 is a report stage where MPs can make more changes to the bill if necessary. Step 5 is a third reading. This is another chance to debate and discuss the changes to the bill and to vote on it in the House of Commons. Once the House of Commons is finished voting on the bill, it must now go to step 6, a similar process of reading, review, and debate, but in the Senate, a different group of people. If the bill passes through the votes of both the House of Commons and the Senate, it must go through the final step, step 7. This step is called royal assent, and it is given by the Governor-General. So this is how, at the federal level, bills become laws. Provinces, territories, and municipalities have their own processes for making laws in their regions as well. Now let's look at the municipal and local level of government. This level of government is so important to us because it's the level of government that is closest to our homes. Our local governments make decisions and laws called bylaws about things that affect our lives every day. Some responsibilities of municipal governments are planning streets and roads, garbage removal, firefighting, emergency services, recreation centers, public transit, and some local health and social services. Most big cities also have their own police forces. On page 33 in your guide, there's a very helpful chart in the middle of the page. The chart shows the three levels of government, what we call the elected officials, and the responsibilities of each government. So let's just review that now. First, we have the federal level of government, where we elect members of parliament, or MPs for short. These MPs work for us in the House of Commons in Ottawa. The federal government is responsible for national defense, foreign policy, citizenship, some policing, criminal justice, international trade, and Aboriginal affairs, and that is now called Indigenous and Northern Affairs. The federal government shares responsibility with provincial governments for immigration, agriculture, and the environment. Next, we have the provincial government with all the different names for the elected members. Members of provincial parliament or MPPs, members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs, are the most common. Provinces are responsible for health care, education, natural resources, highways, property and civil rights, and some policing, specifically in Ontario and Quebec. And there are the shared responsibilities with the federal government in agriculture, environment, and immigration. Lastly, we have municipal and local governments, where a mayor or reeve is the leader and there are councillors. And we've already talked about some city responsibilities, but a few more are recycling programs, snow removal, and ambulances. Here we are at the end of our lesson on how Canada's Parliament works and the different levels of government. So I hope one day you get a chance to go to Ottawa and see the Parliament buildings. It's where the Prime Minister and the MPs we vote for go to work for us. Okay, see you in the next lesson.